What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to a little Jays talk. So the Blue Jays win 8-7 against the Athletics. They moved to 30-28, 2 games above 500. One thing I want to get at right off the hop here is Dalton Varsho. He injured himself going around second base. He hobbled pretty badly into third. He's going for an MRI, I believe, tomorrow. I will say from firsthand experience, I had almost an identical injury rounding a base like that on the exact same spot on my left hamstring. And mine was a partially torn hamstring that put me out for about a month. Now, obviously, I'm not the athlete Dalton Varsho is, but I just found that kind of... when you see somebody do something exactly the same as you've done in your past, you can kind of relate to them, and that was about 5 years ago for me. So yeah, watching someone else, I could really feel that pain for him in that moment. Outside of the Varsho injury, which again hopefully isn't too serious, Easton Lucas was the star of tonight's show, in my opinion. He came up from Buffalo, and he was absolutely dealing for us. I'll just have a quick look at his line here. So he went 4 2/3, 4 hits, a walk, and 3 strikeouts on 70 pitches. Looked phenomenal. Now, I made a video on him probably a month or two ago now, like when he had first come up and was looking good, and I was looking at his pitch repertoire, and I noticed that earlier, like last season, he was throwing fastball, cutter, sweeper, and his fastball and his cutter were around the same velocity. And one reason why I thought he was so effective in his first stint with the Blue Jays, at least initially, was that he went to a fastball slider curveball instead of the fastball cutter curveball, and there was a little bit more velocity differential there. It was kind of 8 to 10 miles an hour drop from his fastball to his slider, and then another drop down to his sweeper. And now on the broadcast, they were pointing out that he was throwing his cutter again, but he was throwing all of his pitches. So he had the fastball going, the cutter going, the curveball going, the changeup, the slider, if I didn't mention that. So he's throwing 5 pitches now, and he's reintroducing that cutter, which I think will be very effective for him against right-handers if he can work it in on their hands. So yeah, really nice performance. It's nice to see that he did make an adjustment while he was down in Buffalo and actually got to work on fixing some things that were, holes in his game once the league kind of caught up to where he was at earlier in the season. So hopefully he's figured out enough to kind of ride this out for at least a few starts and give us some productive innings. Anyways, I'll get into the recap now. The start of the game was absolute chaos, and then it kind of calmed down and was pretty mellow until the 9th inning. So Braden Fisher was starting for the Blue Jays, and he got touched up early as he struck out Butler to start the game. Then Wilson got kind of a cheap single up the middle, a slap single. Rooker then got right off the end of the bat, hit a little flare out into right field. So 2 of the weaker singles that you will see, but hey, they're singles. And with 2 on, Soderstrom comes up and homers to center field. An absolute no-doubter, 411 feet, making it 3-0 Athletics. Not the start we were looking for, especially given that Fisher had not let up a run yet this year in his, 8 2/3 innings or so. Langoliers grounds out and Andujar grounds out, so he gets out of it, keeping it 3-0. And the way this Athletics pitching staff has been so far, we feel like we're still completely in this game. And sure enough, bottom of first. Hoagland, the old Blue Jays draft pick that got traded to the Athletics for Matt Chapman, he's pitching for the Athletics. Bichette strikes out off of him. Guerrero then singles. Barger hits an absolute bomb to right field, swinging out of his shoes, connects with it beautifully. His helmet was down across his eyes. He couldn't see where the ball was. An absolute rocket into the night sky. It's 428 feet. Guerrero Jr. scores, making it 3-2 for the Athletics. Springer walks, Varsho walks, Clement grounds out, moving them up, and then Nathan Lucas hits a center that scores both of them, making it 4-3 Blue Jays in the bottom of the first. So a crazy start to this game. Top of second, Athletics answer right back as Urias walks to start the second. Schumann fouls out, and then 1 on, 1 out, Clark homers. His first career home run, the Canadian kid hits one in Toronto, in Canada. Happy for him, unhappy about the score at this point as the Athletics pull ahead 5-4. Easton Lucas comes in, gives up a couple singles. He goes single to Butler, single to Wilson, single to Rooker, and then he gets Soderstrom to fly out and Langoliers to line out. So a guy that's sitting out there in the bullpen, not really knowing when he's going to come in. He's a starter. He should at least get clean innings. Having to come in and kind of mop up like that, I think he was a little bit out of his game because he really settled in after coming in with the the situation that he had come in the middle of the inning. Hoagland back out in the second, does no better. Sanchez grounds out to start off the inning, and then Bichette homers 390 feet to left field, making it 5-5. Guerrero and Barger both get out. And then now, like I say, Easton Lucas was kind of in cruise control at this point. He did much better in this second inning. which was now the actual third inning. Andujar out, Arias out, Schumann walks, Clark out. It's still 5-5 heading to the bottom of the third, where George Springer leads the inning off with a 430-foot bomb to center field. Absolutely crushed, absolute no-doubter. Varsho then doubled, and he was outstretching at third, and this was where the injury happened. He rounded second hard, came up hobbling, looked ugly, fell over at third base, got carted off the field. It was a ugly sign there. He was able to put some weight on it. He was able to kind of walk. Yeah, like I've said earlier at the intro there, hopefully it's nothing too serious, and he'll be back within a few weeks. Clement then singles, and Nathan Lucas grounds into a double play. First to shortstop to first. That was a nice stop by the first baseman there. Nathan Lucas got robbed on a couple of nice hits. Easton Lucas out there still in cruise control. Hoagland settles in. And then in the bottom of the fifth, Hoagland's still pitching for the A's. Guerrero Jr. starts off the inning by flying out. Barger then grounds out, so you get your 2 outs right away. And then George Springer again, an absolute no-doubter. Carbon copy of the earlier one. 420 feet, dead center field, absolute bomb, no-doubter. 7-5 Blue Jays through 5. Easton Lucas finishes the 6th strong, 3 up, 3 down. Hoagland still out there in the 6th despite letting up 7 runs at this point. Clement doubles. Where was I at here? Yeah, so the Springer home run made it 7-5. Yep. Yeah, so he's still out there. Clement doubles. Lucas grounds out. Clement scores on a wild pitch. Clase then singles, and Sanchez grounds into a double play. So it is now 8-5 through 6. Brendan Little comes in to pitch. He had a tough time finding the strike zone in this one. He didn't get ahead of really anybody. I think maybe one of his 4 batters or so. He actually got a first pitch strike, which was not ideal. But Butler singles off of him. Wilson grounds out. Rooker walks, and Soderstrom walks. So Wyrod comes in with the 2 outs after Butler gets caught stealing. There was a nice pickoff move there where Little had spun around and caught him sleeping, and he threw to third, throw it down to second. They appealed the play. There wasn't enough. It actually kind of looked like he might have been safe, but there was not enough conclusive evidence to overturn the call of out on the field. So he ends up getting called out. Big win for the Blue Jays there as Wyrod comes in and strikes out Langoliers with a 98-mile-an-hour fastball. Absolute gas at the top of the zone, and Wyrod's looking amazing in these high-leverage spots lately. Ferguson in to pitch the bottom of the 7th. He has a clean inning. Wyrod out again for the 8th in the Blue Jays. It's still 8-5 as he has another clean inning. Mason Miller comes out to pitch the bottom of the 8th, and he does good. He gets Springer to ground out, Straw to line out, Clement to strike out, and he keeps it 8-5. And Jeff Hoffman comes in for the save. 3-run lead. You think it's all gravy. Not so fast. He strikes out Evans, looks really good there, but then he walks Butler, gets Wilson to fly out, 2 out, 1 on. Brent Rooker hits an absolute bomb, 407 feet to center field, making it 8-7. And then Soderstrom, who's been on fire lately, follows that up with a double to left field, puts the runner in scoring position, 2 out. A single would do it. It would tie the game. And Langoliers lines out to second base, right up the middle. Ernie Clement lays out, makes an unreal grab to end the game and to stop the scoring threat there. It very, very easily could have been a blown save in a tied ball game, but hey, we will take it. Anyways, I will pop up the box scores here real quick. Let me just shuffle myself around here a little bit. I will make myself small. And we will start with the hitters. So, we'll have a quick look here. Bo Bichette goes 1 for 4. Guerrero Jr. 1 for 4. Barger 1 for 4 with the 2 RBIs, the absolute bomb. Springer, the 2 home runs looked fantastic. Dalton Varsho, like I say, injured. Hopefully he heals up fast. It's nice that we have Miles Straw on the bench that can come in and replicate that Gold Glove defense. Yeah, really, really strong stuff outside of the injury, basically. Clement had a good game. Lucas had a good game. Clase had a good game. Sanchez, the backup catcher, just catch a good game, call a good game, which he did tonight. That's really all you hope for. Bat him 9th and just basically write off those at-bats. And then I'll flip over to the pitchers. And on this side of things, Fisher got touched up, the 4 hits, 5 earned runs with the walk. It was messy. He let up the 2 home runs. His stuff still looks good. It did play. I don't know how many innings he was planning on going in this one, but his fastball was still, I believe, touching about 96, so he didn't have to take much off at all. Like I say, he might have only been in the books to go, say, 2 innings, so he didn't really have to let off the gas. But, yeah, the stuff looked good. He was just missing his spots. He was leaving middle. His breaking ball was all over the place. He was leaving it high. Really, he might have been nervous. It was his first career start, but I won't read too much into that. He's looked really good out of the pen, so we'll leave it there. Easton Lucas comes in, looks phenomenal, 70 pitches, eats 4 2/3 for us. And anytime you can win these games where it's essentially a bullpen game or we're trying to figure out the bulk innings by committee, it's just a huge bonus. Even against a team like the Athletics that's struggling, a huge W for the team. Brendan Little had a rough outing, had the 2 walks, didn't look his best. Got the clutch pickoff, though, to end the scoring threat there, more or less. Wyrod comes in and cleans up his mess. Gets 2 strikeouts in total. He's looking phenomenal lately. Jeff Hoffman, rough case right now. His stuff is similar to what I just said about Fisher. His stuff looked fine. He was hitting like 97 miles an hour. There was good movement on things. I know he left a slider absolutely hanging. He just missing his spots with some of the stuff. The arm appears to be healthy. The stuff looks good. He's just missing his locations right now. And we'll just have to hope that that clears up. Anyways, let me know what you guys thought of the game, all right? A bit of a win streak going on here, 2 games above 500. How we feeling? Vibe check. Leave a comment below, all right? Have a good one, everyone.